Hello, Kaiju Seekers. Welcome to another video. Today, we're going to be doing a little review for the film Godzilla Vs King Ghidorah from 1991. It is the third film in what is known as the Hazy series, and one that has quite a bit of mixed reviews from what I've seen over the years. I've seen people praise it in many ways, people detest it, a little bit in between. Personally, for me, it had always been the film that I thought had a lot of cool stuff in it, but it has been a while since I did a full rewatch of it to get my complete thoughts on it. I've been meaning to go through all the Heisei films because it's been a recent talking point in the community, I would say. As of yet, there have been a few videos that me and my friends have covered in the past few days. But for me, I just had done a little rewatch here the other day, and having done so, I can say that it's ultimately a fine film that has a lot of good entertainment value. Reason being for things like the fun cast of characters, a few fast-paced action scenes, and an overall intriguing premise for a Godzilla movie. And it's this weird in between of the film writing this line of being fast paced but also dragging a bit. After I ended the film, I was surprised to see that it's only an hour and 40 minutes. And it felt like there was just a lot packed into the plot. And what I mean by that is that like there's several details of the story that were packed into this film, but also a few things that were left out that I think were vital to the premise that this film was trying to execute, such as things like the exact origins of the Godzilla we follow being a little confusing because it doesn't make a clear indication that the two Godzillas, them being the 54 Godzilla and then the new Heisei Godzilla, being separate creatures. So things like that leave a bit of a somewhat maybe a plot hole or just a something that the plot just doesn't address, which leads to a few questions being asked. And then things like the rules of the time travel mechanics that are explained in some aspects but not in others, and details of things like motivations and decision making by some of the characters. All the information is given out in what is a quick pace from scene to scene, never staying too long on any exposition or dialogue that the characters say. And as I said again, a lot of the characters are pretty fun and have pretty engaging personalities. A lot of the first half of the film is these characters coming together and unraveling the mystery of the UFO. And though I would usually find this to be a nitpick because we don't get to a lot of like Godzilla action until quite a few scenes in, they were entertaining enough to get me invested in them, going through the motions of the story and just learning of what the like inciting incident foretold. Once the Godzillasaurus comes into play, along with the Thorax and the like, the monster action starts to become the main draw for me. And I found that the way it sort of ramped things up from the first encounter to later the appearance of Ghidorah after the Thorax mutated, I thought was really cool. And the effects for them, for all the monsters here, are pretty nice. There are some effects that don't live up to what's come before, but the set pieces and choreography of the fights are well shot. A lot of the different action sequences and fight scenes are very exciting and involve a lot of physical moves that do go against the whole Beam era title that this series is often called. I'm always surprised when watching these movies back at how much went into these fights, because there is a lot of physical combat, them throwing each other around, grappling. So it was quite a surprise whenever I rewatched these films, especially the earlier ones, which may have gone down in quality over the years, but here definitely it is not just all of the beam battles thrown in together. There is a lot of physical choreography going on with these two monsters whenever they're on screen together. And it goes for both fights. It is surprising once you start watching them back and seeing how much work was put into them. And the effects, again, are very well done for this film here. And so, overall, while I think the film is held back by a few narrative flaws, things that could have done better to explain, different decisions that characters could make during the story, because there were a lot of times where I'm like, why are the characters doing this? Or why are these characters allowing this to happen? And I think just tightening that script and having the characters make those better decisions, or just rewrite the scenes to make a little more sense for the plot to go forward, would have helped it a lot. But I wouldn't necessarily say that it holds the film back in any way from being an entertaining thrill ride that, while not making sense in a few areas, is still an entertaining story with fun characters and thrilling kaiju battle. So if that appeals to you, I would say give it a watch. And let me know what you guys think down below in the comments if you have any thoughts regarding this movie in the Heisei series. And until next time, Kaiju Seekers, over and out.